All right, for the second part of today's series, we'll call it that. We'll go with that on Coriolis. We're going to talk about talents. Talents are those little extra je ne sais quoi ability that your characters have to, how do I say this, to give them a little extra effect in very specific circumstances. One of the things that I came across from the Mutineer Zero videos is that people are like, man, these talents seem worthless. No, the talents are very specific. Now, the cool thing about Coriolis is you get more talents. The problem with that is it's not as much of a choice as you might think it is. And we will get to that here in just a moment. We believe that role-playing games should take place in fantastic worlds. The focus of the game should be on role-playing and having a good time. The core values of #RPGate and any good tabletop group are escapism, not representation, entertainment over activism, and natural, organic inclusion, not forced diversity. The charity we support is the Wounded Warrior Project, a national, nonpartisan organization whose mission is to honor and empower wounded warriors. Please refer to the description below for the link to where you can make your hopefully tax-deductible donation. Join us Thursday and Saturday evenings on twitch.tv/Legion of Myth to watch Heathen Dog and his team of dirty casuals play multiplayer games for your mockery and enjoyment. Here on our YouTube channel, you can watch these game-related segments live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Central Time, or check out the Friday night show stream where our panel of guests opine, comment, and editorialize on the TTRPG hobby as a whole. Please like this video and leave a comment to appease the algorithm gods. Share this video on your favorite social media platforms to help us peer out of the shadows cast over us. And if you have not done so already, please subscribe to Legion of Myth for more tabletop RPG goodness. Well, I'm really glad we gave people in the chat a lot of things to talk about. And guess what? You don't know what it is because you weren't watching live. Yeah. Become a member and you can watch these live after the fact. All right, well, now that chat is going weird, let's now talk about Coriolis and talents. And I think that was somewhere around 69. Yep, there it was, 69. Got that dude sitting out there. Look, I don't know why he's got a mask on. That mask looks heavy. Just take it off, dude. Just take it. Whoops. Ooh, what was that? Okay. There you go. I really feel like my computer, is acting weird today. All right, so what are talents? Well, first of all, let's just start here. Talents can change. And they change how you use skills and how you recover from injury and enable you to do things that are otherwise impossible. I wouldn't say impossible, but they give you benefits in very niche circumstances. Do you remember how many talents you get as a starting character in all the Mutineer Zero games?
I thought it was just you get one, but you can buy another one during character creation and then get more with experience.
There's a very specific way to make that happen. Okay. And you have to actually kind of plan that out. It's one. Here, you're going to get 3 to 4. Wow. There's a way to get 4 to start. But, like I said at the beginning, the choices are a little limited. First of all, if you go back to the character creation video number 2, you'll see that there were 3. Now, that's true across all the Year Zero Engine games. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. The ones we've covered. Where if you played a certain role, you'd get a choice of 3. You could pick one of 3. Same thing here. When you pick a profession, you get a choice of 3 to start. But you also get a group talent. Now, we kind of glossed over that to some degree, where we showed the different group types like mercenary, pilgrims, is it intelligence, I think another one is. You can go look at the first video for that, where it talks about the group type. But you're going to get one for that. And every character has the same talent. So you decide as a group what talent you want it to be.
Really?
Yep. Then you're going to get a personal talent. Now that's based on your character concept. That's based on your profession.
Right.
So then you get an icon talent. Remember when your icon is rolled randomly?
Right.
You got the dancer, so you'll have the dancer talent.
Okay.
Now if you play a humanite, a biosculpted monstrosity, you can have a fourth talent. But you have to
special
choose that
humanite
right off
only
the.
talent.
What's that?
It's a humanite only talent.
Yeah. You might be right. You know what's weird
It
is
says special humanite talent, so only humanites get it, I imagine.
it's funny. I just read this yesterday, and I don't remember if that's true. Well, we'll look at them in a moment. We'll find out. I didn't pay attention to humanites, to be honest with you. Mystical powers are a separate category of talents. Also, so are cybernetics. Those are all considered talents. You buy them like talents for the cost of 5 experience. Yes, cybernetics also cost money.
Sure, that makes
But
sense.
you also have to pay experience for them to get the talent aspect of it. I mean, you theoretically could say, I have a cybernetic arm, not pay any points for it, then it literally does nothing for you except for act as an arm. I mean, if that's really what you want to do. Acquiring new talents, 5 XP, just like everything else. Cybernetic or bionic, you need to spend both XP and Burr. That's the money. I already mentioned that. In order to gain a new group talent, everyone in the group must spend 5 XP. So if Heathen Dog doesn't like it and he's a holdout, he's like, I'm not paying 5 for that one, then you don't get it.
Nobody gets it.
Yeah, right. Nobody. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you can never learn new icon talents. You were born under that sign. That is who you are. You know, in the real world, if you want to say, I'm a Leo, so I get whatever Leos get.
Sure.
And you can usually only take each talent once. Now, let's take a look at some of these. We never picked a group talent. But you got a nose for Burr. It's finding money. Everything is for sale. Quickest route. Assault charge. Master Scouts. A friend in every port. Assassin's Guild. You can read the rest on the screen.
Sure.
We will look over some of those in a moment. Now, this is page 70. Let me go, I don't know, page 5-ish. Let's find out where it is. Group concept. What do you do? Oh, it might actually be in the character creation side. Yeah. Group concept. So, free traders. Does it say here? Free trader group concept can use the smugglers, bulk haulers, couriers. Or is it mercenary, soldier, legionnaire? Okay, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. Explorers, agents. The group concept does matter, though. Patron, nemesis, player character. Okay, background, choose a concept. Well, oh, there we go. Nope, it's not there. Well, that sucks that I don't remember where that is.
Oh.
Because it does matter what your. I thought it did. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. That's what happens when you have too many games rattling through your head. Is that on the screen? Center. Jerk. Tell you, everything's acting weird today. It's not a good day. All right. Icon talents. We'll look at the dancer's talent, but of course you have one for each one. Lady of Tears, Gambler, Merchant, Judge, Faceless One, etc. Then you get into the general talents. Now, general talents, you start with 3, or 1 of 3. Your profession will give you a choice of 3, of which you can select 1. From that point on, they're all just intermixed. Unlike Mutineer Zero, where your talent is pretty much tied to your special skill, well, there's no special skill in this game. Therefore, anybody can pick. So if you start the game off, we'll just start with this one, Blessing. Eventually, anybody can get Blessing. You're not that special. Only you can start with it. Humanite talents, pheromones, resistance.
Oh, I love that.
Water breathing. You actually have gills.
Yeah, suck that. I don't want gills. Pheromones, though, that sounds like a fun time.
Cybernetic implants, accelerated reflexes, active sensors, body armor, and again, you can read more there. Lie detector.
That's good too. Skin electrodes.
We can look at that later.
Am I a walking taser?
We can look at that.
That would be cool.
I don't know what they all are, to be honest with you. Bionic sculpts. So you can act. This is like plastic surgery on steroids.
Right.
You can regenerate. You could be beautiful. Awesome. So beautiful plus pheromones.
Equals I've got gainful employment for at least 10 years.
There you go. Well, maybe longer than that because you're sculpted.
That's true. I'm not actually going to degrade in that aspect. So that's good.
Now let's look at these mystical powers, just the names of them for now.
I don't know,
Artificer.
man. I got the feeling in this game that magic is very much like Call of Cthulhu magic. It only makes things worse, and I would probably stay away from it.
I can't say that you're wrong. I'm not going to say that you're fully right, but I can't say that you're wrong. I mean, anything that gives a game master a darkness point.
Can't be all good.
Yeah. We have Artificer, Clairvoyant, Exorcist, Intuition, Mind Reader, Mind Walker, Prediction, Premonition, Stop, Telekinesis. This is probably the most active one. Stop's pretty cool too, though. Hey, stop. Notice again, no fireballs. No
Sure.
healing.
No lightning bolts.
Yeah.
No laying on hands.
Right. Well, I mean, there's Exorcist. But yeah. All right, let's take a look at what some of these are. Oh, here's where it is. Oh my God, I thought it was in the other section. Nope, it's right here. This is why I knew it was. So, Free Trader. We didn't pick one for your
No.
dancer. Go ahead and pick Free Trader, Mercenary, Pilgrim, Agent, Explorer.
Agent.
Agent? Okay. So you're an agent meth head. So you guys can pick, again, as a team, you figure this out. A friend in every port. You can find a useful contact in a new place. The contact can protect you, lend you gear, or vouch for you with the local rulers. Hey, I've known Heathen Dog going way back. Good guy. He'll be all right. No problem. And you know what? And his friends are, good people. The GM gets 1 darkness point per use.
Gross.
Use once per session for the whole group, not once for PC. Almost all of these, if not all, of the group talents are once per session for the group.
Sure.
Okay, now, Meth Head Heathen Dog is part of the Assassin's Guild. And wants a friend in every port. Assassin's Guild. You can test infiltration instead of melee combat when you make a melee combat against an enemy who isn't aware of you.
Ooh, that's nice.
Because chances are this is going to be higher, right? Because
sure,
you're trying
because if you choose that, you already know that your infiltration skill, you put more points into it. So, or else you wouldn't get this. That'd be dumb.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I put a limiter on this.
Yeah, because it doesn't say once per session.
Right.
You can use it every time no one knows you're there.
Right. No, I say once per encounter. That's now again, I've never fully run the game in a campaign sense, but this one to me becomes once per encounter.
It may work like that just because once you backstab somebody and it's like, oh my God, my liver, and everyone else now knows you're there. Unless you have a way to mystically become invisible again, then no, they're going to know you're there. Even if they can't see you, they know you're there.
I also state that explicitly instead of keeping it implicitly, because I know how players try to rationalize everything, and I don't want to have a 20-minute argument with somebody. But no, see, I actually left, and I went around behind the bar, and I waited there for 3 turns, so he shouldn't really know that I'm still there, because he's focused on, once per encounter.
Sure.
So now, last one is Dancers of Alam. You can test dexterity instead of manipulation when trying to make a good impression. Got some good moves there, girl. It's what it's actually meant to represent is you know how to stand, you know how to kind of lean, you know how to be. You've practiced these positions. It's like again, I always forget her name, but Marina Baccarin's character from Firefly. That's what the representation is. You know how to have these poses and positions and smiles and winks and just the proper positioning that make people think your way. Everything from mimicking what they do to so on and so forth. So instead of doing manipulation, use dexterity because you're very smooth about that.
Okay.
Now, again, every group has one. So of those 3, I mean, they're all different. This is great for having contacts or, for getting information. This is great if you just want to stab people. And this is great if you have somebody, you know, going with the whole biosculpting thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to pick up a chick and instead of having to finesse her with words or a pickup line or whatever, you can just go there and do something that is physically impressive using dexterity, and you now have impressed her as if you made a manipulation roll. That's really good.
But as for the rest of these, I'll just glance over them. Survivors, Truth Seekers, Pilgrims get last laugh. Mercy of the Icons, funny because that's the name of the main campaign. The one that I have 3 books of. One last burr. Make a living out of your craft or performances. You're the guitar player in the subway.
You're the bard.
Could be. Icon talents. Okay. Not going to read them all. But let's definitely look.
It's based on the icon you were born with during character creation.
But I specifically want to look at Heathen Dogs because he got the dancer.
I did.
So what is your talent? You can evade an incoming attack, taking no damage. So remember, before you're like, the dancer, that sounds dumb. Well, now you can choose to activate the talent after a successful attack roll, but before you roll any cover or armor dice. Oh, sorry. I should probably note this because it's once per session again, and gives the game master a darkness point. Yeah, you can't do that constantly. But if there's a big shot coming in at you, though,
you want that to not hit you. I get it.
All right. So, and you can see the other ones here. The judge is a really common one. People love the judge. You deal an automatic critical injury when your attack hits, regardless of whether the attack penetrated cover and armor. Any other effects from the attack are resolved as usual.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Game Masters. It's already mentioned in all the Free League games, but I know you want to be nice to your players. You want to be cool with your players. Screw that. Players make their characters in front of you and together. Icons are randomly rolled. They are not meant to be put together to min-max. It's very possible, yes, the player who's the data djinn gets the judge. Too bad. It's not meant to be min-maxed. General talents. Now, these are the ones that you can buy for 5 each. Let's just read a couple of them off. We got Blessing up here. Combat Veteran. This is a pretty popular one. You can make your initiative roll with 2 dice and choose the best one.
Oh, so for you D20 players, you have initiative advantage.
Yeah, there you go. With D6s, though. If you also have accelerated reflexes, you get to roll your initiative with 3 dice and choose the best one.
Just
saying.
Well, accelerated reflexes gives you 2 dice on its own.
Yeah. It just adds one more.
An extra one. Yeah, okay. Whatever.
Exo Specialist. You get +2 to dexterity or force when handling an exo of some kind, from loaders to battle exos. This is right. Yeah, it's your battle armor. What's that one? Faction standing. I don't care.
9 lives.
9 lives. Okay, I'll read 9 lives. No matter how bad it looks, you always seem to come out of situations alive. When you suffer a critical injury, you get to switch the dice, turning 10s into 1s and vice versa. So when you roll that critical injury and you get is it 10s in this game? I thought it was 6s still. And you roll a 94? Well, now it's a 49. And believe me, a 49 is be much better than a 94.
I get it.
And it's on page 94. Look at that. Maybe that was subliminally in my brain. I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
Gearhead, intimidating, judge of character, license. You have the proper license to buy restricted gear and weapons.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. You can purchase the items if you can afford them and if they're available at your location. Being licensed is not the same as being permitted to carry all kinds of weaponry in public, however. Different jurisdictions are going to have different laws, especially within the factions.
That makes sense.
But you're allowed to at least purchase it without getting in trouble. Malicious, when you successfully manipulate someone, inflict at least 1 point of stress. Third eye. Are we in magic already? I don't think so. No. Third eye, you have the ability to sense an ambush. Once per session, you avoid the effects of being surprised. The talent also gives you a constant +2 to observation. A constant when trying to detect a sneak attack or ambush. By the way, sneak attack in the Year Zero games, all of them, sneak attacks and ambushes are exactly how you win fights. The ability to have +2 to avoid that is better than the initiative as far as I'm concerned. And we'll do Heathen Dog's Mech Warrior 5 character. Wealthy family. You can use rumors of your family's vast riches to give yourself +2 to manipulation in any situation the GM deems is relevant. Whether the rumors are true or not doesn't matter. You know, my family can hire a hit out on you. Oh, are you the Wong of the Mars Wongs?
But you have to come from a privileged background.
Oh, is it? Yeah. That makes sense. You actually have to have the family name.
Yep.
Crafty says the third book doesn't exist. The third book isn't bad until the end. And you're like, ugh. Humanoid talents. All right. What are these pheromones that Heathen Dog wants so badly?
I want them. Yummy.
You have the ability to transmit and receive pheromones via enlarged dermal glands on your chest, neck, or face.
Sure.
Your pheromones spread throughout the air and will not work in a vacuum or affect people in exos. The pheromones make others obey you. You get a +2 to manipulation, 1 use per session, because you got to build them back up.
Oh, man, that's lame.
Hey, doesn't say there's a limit to the obeying.
That's true.
Just once per session. And +2 to manipulation. Resistant. Your body can endure extreme weather and other natural hazards. The talent counts as armor with an armor rating of 6 against natural damage. So, if a rock slide hits you,
yeah,
6
not bullets, but, fire, cold from environment, rock slide, rain, hail, whatever.
You can combine resistant with rugged for a total armor rating of 9 against natural damage. And I did look. This one uses the old style armor system, so that's 9 dice.
Okay.
I thought this one used the specific number, but I guess that's just Twilight 2000. Water breathing. You can breathe normally underwater.
That makes sense.
Cybernetic. Let's just look at a couple. We have accelerated reflexes, active sensors, endoskeleton, language modulators, cybernetic muscles. Anything stand out for you that you like? Passive sensors, lie detector, built-in weapon. People like that, right?
Yeah, the weapon. Well, no, there was another sexy one in here somewhere.
Servos locks, voice amplifier, water breathing, waterproof, skin electrodes. That's the one.
Oh, that was the one. Walking taser. That's right.
Your palms are fitted with conductive surfaces capable of transmitting powerful electrical shocks. There you go. After a successful unarmed attack, you can choose to inflict 2 points of stress, that's the mind damage, instead of dealing damage. Each additional 6 inflicts 1 extra point of stress.
All right.
6,000 burr for that bad boy, though. Wow.
It's a lot, but it's very useful.
Targeting scope. Most of that, he says, the most expensive one. That might be it right there. 20,000, 4,000, 1, 3, 6, 7, 7, 7, 12, 4. All right, yeah. Targeting scope is that's going to reduce range. Where is it? Oh, one of your eyes has been enhanced, not with the worm that ate it, by the way.
Oh, that's fair.
Earth Dawn reference. Drink. One of your eyes has been enhanced with a targeting scope. Makes it easier to hit with firearms. +1 to ranged combat at short range and above. Does not work for quick shots. Oh, that's okay. I thought it was going to reduce the range.
$20,000.
Wow. One of the things about Year Zero Engine, it does not like to give modifiers to combat.
No.
It's in all the games. That's why it costs that much. This is a modifier to combat. Because they know how prevalent combat is in the game. Now, your bionic skull.
My beautiful. There it is.
There's your beautiful. So, by the way, it costs 5 XP and burr. We'll see what the burr is. 25K for that one. And 6 days of healing after the procedure.
Whatever. Hey, you know what? It's hard being pretty. All right.
It is. Your beauty is breathtaking. Whether by classical standards or tasteful originality, you turn heads wherever you go. Your biosculpted look gives you +2 to manipulation whenever they can affect the situation. People with the appropriate sexual orientation tend to fall in love with you. If you're in a place with different ideals of beauty, the GM may decide to ignore your modifier. So
I don't want to go there.
Well, I mean, if you're from the Samoan Islands, you might come to America, and the standards are a little different.
Yeah.
But
this is female privilege right here. That's what that is.
Built-in weapon, nimble, morph, intelligent. Your brain's biocode. Yeah, this is a good one. Your brain's biocode and cognitive pathways have been altered to make you cold and logical.
Oh, I love it.
Well, +1 to all science tests, but -2 to manipulation.
That's fine. Hey, if you're not moved by facts and precedent and all things that are real, then I don't want to know you. So that's fine. I'll just shoot him in the face. That'll convince him.
That's cold and logical. Quick. Regenerate. You heal fast, recovering remarkably quickly, even from grave injuries. Time to heal critical injury. Notice it says critical injury. It does not say mind or body points. Is halved. You also get 2 extra hit points. Those are body points.
Oh, that's nice. I don't know if it's $15,000 nice, but it's nice.
All right, mystical powers. Let's pick. Okay, so in order to learn a mystical power, go ahead and when I'm scrolling through the list, go ahead and pick 1 or 2. In order to learn a mystical power, you need at least level 1 in the skill mystic powers because it's an advanced skill.
Yeah.
To activate a power, you must pass a mystic powers test. So get a 6 on that. In combat, this is normally a slow action. We'll talk about actions next week, I think. We'll have to because we already did skills. A failed roll means that the power does not activate properly, giving you incorrect information or resulting in some other undesired effect. The GM decides the details. Each use of a power, even if you fail, gives the Game Master 1 darkness point. So we have Artificer, Clairvoyant, Exorcist, Intuition. Okay. Nothing on that. Nothing on the other side. Okay.
Nope.
Let's see. And all right, Mind Reader, Mind Walker, Prediction. Telekinesis, stop, and premonition.
Premonition. That seems like the most general and yet also the most helpful.
Okay, in some mysterious way, you can sense impending danger. The GM will have you test mystic power. If you pass, you get a feeling of a looming threat, but no details about what it might be. Now, how is that?
That is a lot more useful than it seems on first blush.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you're checking for an ambush, you're pretty much doing it right at the point of the ambush.
Right.
This right here is like, guys, if we continue going down that way, this is a bad way to go.
We're going to get boned somehow.
Yeah. You've got the path that's all nice and shiny, and then you got the dark foreboding path. Which one do we take? Well, Premonition Man here can make a mystic power test and help you out with that.
Yep.
Stop. I'm going to read this one because this one's a fun one. You can stop an NPC performing an action she otherwise would have. It must be something subtle that can be attributed to simple forgetfulness. Typical examples would be that the NPC lets a PC pass a roadblock without checking papers. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a very limited Jedi mind trick.
Yeah. Or forgets her keys somewhere. The power cannot be used to stop an incoming attack. But it can be used to help sneaky past somebody.
Okay.
With decent role playing. Now, there's a warning up here. The problem with clairvoyance.
There's a warning.
A PC with the clairvoyant power can make a mess of GM's plans. If the goal of the scenario is to find someone to reveal the identity of a killer, the PC can just solve the puzzle right off the bat using this talent. Not fun. The best way to handle this is give the PC vague clues instead of hard facts. Mystical powers are not an exact science. Try to give the PC a clue that feels valuable, but one that won't ruin the mystery.
Mm-hmm.
So the PC cries, you didn't tell me who the killer was. Oh man, it's like that 8-ball. It's kind of murky or whatever that signs seem fuzzy right now.
Yeah. Signs point to screw you.
Yeah. And I think that is it. So again, that is definitely it. Guess what we talk about next week?
Combat.
Now this is going to be interesting. Next week is going to be in flux when it comes to this, and here's why. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get through this chapter. Okay. It's not a long chapter, but it is a dense chapter, and we are going to do combat. There's also this caveat. I have an hour-and-a-half long video that runs through multiple rounds of combat, explaining everything and doing everything. I might watch that before next week to determine how deep I have to go into this. Or I can just say, watch that other video. I know that's not the best answer, but... And the reason is because the chapter after this one is kind of, it's an equipment chapter. But equipment works differently in this game to some degree, and there's a lot of it. And how it interfaces with the game is important, and I want to have a segment on that. And I would like to have it next week. Because then after that, we get into space combat, ground combat, and so forth. I'm sorry, space combat and spaceships. And it'd be weird to talk about equipment and then go into outer space. So If I can do combat and then equipment, that's what I'd like to do next week, but I'm not 100% certain on that. So we'll find out. But next week is going to be combat. And we're going to talk about everything that you need to do to go shoot somebody.
Cool.
Or punch somebody. And how you take damage. Because we haven't talked about mind points and body points and how you take stress, right?
No. Legion Myth, Mercy of the Icons is 3 books. You mean 2 books. It's 2 books. The last book doesn't exist.
It's 2 3/4 books. Yeah.
Now, why is that?
The ending, man, is such... Look, it is an epic campaign. You are not going to do it in one session. That is for dang sure. It's 3 hardcover books that are right there. Okay? It takes a while to get through it. I really feel like the 3rd book was rushed. First of all, it is by far the smallest book.
Okay.
My complaint, and I don't want to give it away because I'd love people to run it, and I think it is worth running. My major complaint is this. First of all, it kind of does what's that first Star Trek, The Next Generation movie called? The first one that they did.
Oh, First Contact.
Generations, Generations, wasn't it?
Generations was first? No, I thought it was First Contact.
Well, whichever one that answers what happens if Data has emotion, what happens if Geordi can see, what happens if Kirk dies, basically.
Oh, no, that one is Star Trek Insurrection. Where Geordi regenerates his eyes.
No. Well, they did some other stuff in that first one. It had Kirk, it had Picard, it had it had basically everything. It had all the what ifs. Like, it's almost like they thought they'd never have another movie had what ifs.
Oh, right. Okay. Got it.
Oh, what happens if the Enterprise gets destroyed? It's like everything. Mercy of the Icons does that. It's a big what if scenario at the end. It changes everything about the damn game. It is not the same universe when you're done. Everything we're talking about here, other than the core rules, you may as well throw out.
Wow. That seems like a waste of ink.
It changes, like when we talk about factions, half of them are going to be different or gone or whatever. New ones are going to build up. When we talk about, we don't really talk about the icons too much, but the icons change. The emissaries change. Everything about the landscape, and this isn't a spoiler because I'm just telling you, everything freaking changes. And now the cool part about it does say, hey, how to handle this aftermath. I mean, Free League's always good about doing that, but everything changes. So it's like, if you do Mercy of the Icons and you continue to play after that, that core rule book is just barely guidelines only. That is my biggest complaint about it, is it's so world changing that, and the other part of it is, especially when you get to the 3rd one, the first ones are very sandbox. I mean, certain things are going to happen. It's kind of like how I do things, timelines. These things are going to happen, and it's up to the characters to try to resolve them one way or the other. But even if they fail, it just happens in a different way, or they stymie this, but because they stymie this other thing happens. Cool. That's just the way the world works. I'm okay with that. Keeps them entertained and interested. That 3rd book is very much a railroad.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, I love the storyline. Man, if you read it like a novel, it's freaking amazing. It is a well done book or series, because it's 3 books. But that 3rd book just is like, you destroyed the universe. like the entire history of like some of the stuff that I'm reading, guys, like the 1st and 2nd Horizons, prevalent in that one. I'm not going to go any more in that. So. Well, yeah, it's a space station hovering around a planet. Yeah. Yeah, Crafty's right. The whole game needs to start again. New campaign is almost required. I mean, you could continue on. You absolutely could. A good game master could continue on. There's nothing to say that. But you will be playing in a different feeling universe than you were previously.
Okay.
Lots of things happen. And they're thick books. Lots of things happen. I'm not spoiling anything for you by telling you everything changes. Lots of things happen.